On April 20th, the boxing world is ready to see the two young pugilistic prodigies in Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia going toe-to-toe. What makes this encounter even more intriguing is their history. Two former rivals who met 6 times in the amateurs, with 3 victories apiece. Now they face off for the 7th time. But this isn't just any professional bout, it's for a world championship at 140 pounds, the pinnacle of the sport. The build-up for this fight has been anything but ordinary though, initially fueled by your typical boxing rivalry and war of words. It took the unexpected turn with Ryan Garcia's active presence on social media, sharing his esoteric beliefs and leaving many questioning his mental state and readiness for such a significant challenge in his career. Despite the concerns, the fight appears set to proceed. Today's video is not about this drama. It's about when the bell rings. It's about what happens inside the ropes. And today I'm going to take a deep dive into the strengths, weaknesses and tactical approaches for both men in this fight as they prepare to square off. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's start off with the challenger, Ryan Garcia. It's difficult to predict Ryan's mental approach to this fight. We might see either a more tentative or aggressive strategy from him, though the latter seems more probable in my opinion. And there has been much criticism directed at some of the online clips of Ryan's training, but it's essential to approach this with caution and not look too much into it, as Haney is no one to work with the likes of Ben Davidson and his team, who do a lot of the video analysis on all their opponents. And for me, the suggesting apparent weaknesses and fooling around may just be part of a strategic smokescreen for me, and for Ryan's sake, I hope he's trolling is all. Going back to the fight itself, I expect Ryan to establish his rhythm with the jab, utilising the trademark speed to disrupt Haney's key weapon, his own jab. And Garcia often starts off fights aggressively, attempting to push opponents towards the ropes or corners. However, Haney's superior footwork, linearly and laterally, may pose a challenge, so necessitating varied feints before Ryan can unleash his power shots will be crucial if he has any chance of trapping him or pushing him back.
Someone that aggressive, just a jab to the chest. For 4 rounds, he's got a chance.
With his newish trainer in Derek James, and for the majority of his fighters, everything revolves around the jab. And though not inherently a bad thing, it can be predictable at the highest level, if not varied as I mentioned. And Ryan's tendency to mix in a long left hook and drop his right hand, or posting out his hand for too long, can expose him to counters, as witnessed in the Tank Davis fight. Against an orthodox fighter like Haney, Ryan Garcia typically maneuvers his opponents towards the ropes, utilising a classic combination of a jab, right hook, left hook to the body.
But if he doesn't take any chances, he just...
While this strategy can somewhat be predictable, Garcia's exceptional speed often compensates for this predictability, occasionally surprising opponents by switching to the headshot with the left hook, which in turn creates that hesitation for the opponents on where to defend, helping set up that devastating left hook to the body. However, if Garcia succeeds in pushing Haney back with these attacks, he must remain vigilant for Haney's counterpunching, as Devin may attempt to evade and set up follow-up punches. Nevertheless, no one is perfect, and on the inside or close position, Haney has shown vulnerability when pressured, resorting to a high guard shell that allows opponents to exploit openings through the middle or round it, as seen in the Lomachenko fights. Going a bit further back to the Linares fight, Jorge was able to land his quick combinations when in the pocket, especially when he tried to use waist movement or the Philly shell defensive maneuvers, only for him to get caught flush in the chin. However, going off the Lomachenko and even Regis Prograis fights, I do think he's learned and improved in avoiding prolonged exchanges in the pocket, employing waist movement with pivots or lateral movement to evade danger. And if Ryan does want to push him back, he needs to avoid being reckless and getting countered needlessly, as he did against Tank Davis, as Haney will be looking to counter him with the right hand and left hook. And in Garcia's last fight against Duarte, it showcased some uncharacteristic tactics, I guess. While it's very unlikely Haney will adopt a similar pressure-aggressive style, Ryan appeared uncomfortable in the back foot at times, relying on heavy lateral movement, and of course that strange Philly shell stance attempt to defend against body shots. And I believe if Ryan opts for this type of defense again, it will leave him very vulnerable against Haney's calculated offense. Nevertheless, in this fight, it did manage to draw in Duarte, resulting in Ryan being able to counter him with the left hook before getting the finish. Now, no way am I saying he can draw in Haney like that, but Garcia can also be a deadly counterpuncher with the left hook or right hand, often throwing it as a check left hook. If Haney overcommits to targeting Garcia's body, it could present counterpunching opportunities for Ryan. And while body shots can be effective in slowing down an opponent and creating openings, Haney must be cautious not to overextend himself, as if Haney becomes too predictable with his body shot strategy, which I'll touch on later, Garcia could capitalise on those openings to unleash his counter left hook, a weapon that has proven devastating in previous fights. And he does have the proven knockout power at this level, so maybe we could see more of an unorthodox approach from Ryan again in this fight, and it could just pay off to add a bit of unpredictableness to someone like Haney who's so focused on the game plan. Despite his brilliant speed, Ryan's tendency to drop his guard could be his downfall in this fight. But in summary, Ryan must capitalise on his strengths, and he needs to find a way to make Haney as uncomfortable as possible or throw him off his own game plan if he has any chance of winning this fight, in my opinion. Now, let's shift our focus on defending WBC champion Devin Haney. Entering this bout, Haney is likely brimming with confidence, coming off what many consider his best performance in his last fight. While he'll no doubt want to keep up that momentum. Another aspect is he won the last 3 encounters in the amateurs, and I wouldn't be surprised if Haney believes he has Ryan's number at this point, especially with Garcia's apparent distractions outside the ring. And for this fight, I believe the strategy will likely centre around outboxing Ryan from the outside, utilising the jab and capitalising on counterpunch opportunities as they arise. Nevertheless, as much as Ryan makes mistakes, he still possesses explosive power and lightning fast hand speed that can cause problems for any fighter. Even Tank Davis at times had some shaky moments despite taking care of business. While I also think it's worth noting that Haney does lack that knockout power compared to some other counterparts in the division. Instead, he relies heavily on his technical foundation, featuring smooth footwork, precise punch placement, and strategic use of the lead hand to control the range of the fight. And the jab will undoubtedly play a pivotal role for Haney, disrupting Ryan's rhythm and preventing him from setting up his own offense, which largely revolves around him using the jab at first. That being the case, Haney must remain focused during these moments of transition when Garcia looks to close the distance, avoiding getting caught in Ryan's rhythm. If Ryan tries to close the distance, he does have some tendencies before attacking, such as going from a high guard to a half guard.
It's Ryan Garcia. It's a defense-first strategy for take.
And in these moments of transition, Haney needs to shoot and move laterally to not let Ryan set and throw his own jab or left hook, throwing when Ryan changes guard.
That's what Tago needs to do more. Punch in between the shots. That's what you're going to do with the faster man. You can't compete with Ryan's speed, but try to time him in between.
With that being the case, utilising lateral movement to stay off the ropes and reclaiming the centre ring while establishing the jab to set up other combinations will be crucial. One potential opening to exploit from Ryan could be his tendency to leave himself vulnerable when opponents target his body, leaving him open for an overhand shot. And this is because he has a tendency of sticking or posting out his lead hand when the opponent targets the body, as he tries to parry away or create distance between him and the opponent. And Garcia has been caught out with this versus southpaws, but the same habit has still been there with orthodox fighters too. And with this being the case, I think targeting Ryan's body early in the fight, whether that be through body jabs or a jab right hand combination, could just help Haney set up a significant advantage later on, potentially culminating in a well-timed overhand right. However, Haney must be mindful of Garcia's counters, particularly that left hook and right hand, as Ryan possesses, as we already know, the ability to capitalize on any openings created, especially with that check left hook or a step back counter. Now the other possibility, if Ryan does rush Devin, and personally I don't think it suits Haney to fight him as seen in the Loma and Linares fights. Instead, I think he should focus on a varied game plan of shoot and move, not letting Ryan set while looking to clinch in these positions, as it just takes one mistake in the pocket and the momentum could very much swing in Ryan's favour. Overall though, Haney's ring generalship and adherence to a controlled game plan centred around range control and strategic body targeting could pave the way for a comfortable victory in my opinion. However, he must not underestimate Ryan's capabilities and remain disciplined throughout the whole 12 rounds if he's to win. As the anticipation builds up for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, it's clear both fighters bring a unique set of strengths and strategies to the ring. For Haney, it's about maintaining that technical prowess and strategic control that he has, while Garcia needs to capitalise on his explosive power and that lightning fast speed if he has any chance of winning. And I hope mentally come fight night he is ready and puts on a good performance, or he could be in danger of a real shock. But overall, I think the dynamics of this matchup promise to be an intriguing clash of styles and tactics. Will it be Haney's disciplined approach and ring IQ that makes the difference? Or will Garcia's lightning fast hands and power actually prove decisive in making this a much closer bout than we think? All will be revealed on April 20th. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Will we get another dominating display from Devin Haney? Or will Ryan Garcia prove us all wrong and win his first world title against his childhood rival? This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Enjoy the fight when it comes. And as always guys, I'll see you in the next one.